Okay, so I've wasted 3 months of my life after I made the terrible decision to try and download 1000 mods into Minecraft. And, well, I guess this is where the story begins. Yo guys, what is up? My name is Jurocraft, and most of you might be wondering, where the heck have you been hiding? Well, long story short, I got a blue screen of death, so I don't know, maybe don't try downloading 1000 mods into Minecraft. Just a thought. Either way, I finally fixed the issue and even bought a new PC, which should arrive sometime this month. But then I fell ill, as in I thought I had a taste of the, the virus, but it turns out I just have a bad flu. So thankfully, everything should be back to normal, and I can finally tell you guys a story about free love advice. But no, this is not just any free love advice. This, my friends, is free love advice Raul, a moderator on my Discord server. Now, he has a pretty big brain, so I asked him if he could do me a favor and send me a working version of the Chisels and Bits mod. But little did I know that free love advice Raul had other plans in mind. Let's just say that he sent me 1000 mods. Okay, maybe 1000 mods is a bit too much for this PC, but we still have enough mods in this pack to keep you wandering for hours. Yeah, I hope you don't mind me interrupting, but 200 mods was also a really bad idea, but I'll get into that later on in the video. I mean, just trying to decide what blocks to use for your first house can be a little bit of a nightmare. So I just thought we'll jump straight into it and see what kind of stuff this mod pack has to offer, while of course building a few things along the way. Now the funny thing is, Raul sent me the mods and I was like so disappointed because I could not find anything. I mean, there's absolutely nothing here, just a couple of new blocks. But then I took a closer look and kind of realized, oh, there's actually 12 pages full of content. So yeah, I totally missed that. Bear in mind, I've only ever used 3 mods throughout my entire life. So yeah, it's kind of sad. But to put things into perspective, this mod pack has literally so much to offer. There's everything from a wide variety of new biomes, tons of new ores. I mean, there's like shiny glowing crystals inside of caves, which I absolutely love. Of course, we also have hundreds of spawn eggs, which create some pretty weird creatures, not to mention thousands of new blocks and decorations. Now, I know a lot of this stuff actually has a purpose, and most of these blocks have their own functions, but as a builder, I'm really just looking at this from the aesthetic point of view. So to start things off, let's do a small test build inside one of my favorite new biomes, which is of course the beautiful redwood forest. Now, I just really like the look of this biome. It kind of reminds me of Grizzly Hills, and I know, I'm sorry, I've played a lot of World of Warcraft, so it's kind of nostalgic, but seeing as this is my first time ever building with this many mods, I'm really just kind of testing things out and being genuinely fascinated by the sheer number of decorations. And they look great too, the bottles, the piles of books. I mean, there's just so much stuff going on, it's going to be pretty much impossible for me to be able to showcase everything. The really cool thing about this mod pack is that most of the mods enhance your building capabilities in one way or another. So one of the simpler mods I really like is called Fairy Lights, and it basically allows you to place these overhead flags that have some pretty good physics. You can change the length of them by using a stick or some string, and on top of that there's also different variations. So there's lights, Halloween decorations, paper lanterns. I mean, it is a pretty cool concept. Now, there is some extra space right at the center of the campsite because there are 2 mods that I just have to try, which was really the main reason I wanted to make this video in the first place. I'm sure most of you already know about them, but to put it simply, these mods allow you to place individual pixel-sized blocks, which is crazy because at this point we're practically removing all of Minecraft's limitations, allowing you to build and design literally anything you want. Okay, so this would be my very first build using miniature blocks, so I don't know if this counts as an epic build, but it's definitely amazing when you have an infinite amount of possibilities, and you know I'm all about the small details. Not gonna lie though, it can be a bit confusing to use, but you do kind of get the hang of things eventually. Also, side note, the atmosphere at night is literal perfection. Okay, hold on a second here because I have some really bad news. At this very moment, all hell literally broke loose. I don't even know how to explain any of this, but my recordings were starting to look like vomit trash bags, and I was getting so many blue screens that some of them weren't even making any sense. I had no option but to wait for the new one, and well, some of you might be wondering what took you so long, so let me just give you the short version of the story. Okay, so here we go. I bought all the PC parts separately and had them shipped to a family friend in the UK who knows how to build a PC. But there's a problem. As you know, the 3090 graphics card is in short supply, and well, it never arrived. Turns out all we got was a big fat scam.
Bruh.
Luckily, a few days passed and Amazon gave us a refund. Great, right? Wrong. We ordered a second 3090 graphics card and everything was working great in the UK until we had the PC shipped down to Gibraltar. I plugged the PC into the wall, lo and behold, it's not working. We have the PC sent to a local store and it turns out the graphics card broke in the mail. But don't ask me, ask the guy who sent me this video.
BJ error.
So at this point, it's already been 2 months and I don't really want to wait for a DHL refund. I mean, I seriously want to get back to making videos. And because of the low stock, I ended up paying £3,000 for yet another 3090 graphics card. Whoever sold me this card, I mean, you took advantage of my absolute desperation. Luckily though, third time lucky, right? I'm kidding. Look, everything's fine. There is more to the story, but I've already collected enough dead brain cells these past 3 months. So let's just dump all the stress and anxiety in a big dark cave and never look back. The good news is I'm finally uploading videos again, and this PC is running like an absolute beast. I'm not gonna lie though, I'm still sitting on the edge of my seat panicking, thinking what's going to happen next? Am I gonna have to buy a 4th graphics card or is my PC just going to explode in my sleep? Okay, maybe I'm over-exaggerating, but we are running at almost max render distance with some pretty intense shaders on, a texture pack, mods, and on top of all this, I'm running Adobe Premiere in the background while watching YouTube videos. I'm not a PC expert, but this is just absolutely insane. Now, I still don't know if the mods caused all these issues to begin with, but either way, Raul wanted to be crowned the PC Slayer, so congratulations. But seriously, no hard feelings, this was all definitely worth it in the end. So guys, we're going to continue this adventure into the jungle for one final transformation. I guess you can call this the build performance test builds special. I don't know. I just really wanted to try transforming this jungle temple to at least end this video on a good note. By the way, I did pull this random image from Google just to get some inspiration. I have to say though, it is really weird coming back to the same video after 3 months just pretending like nothing's happened. So I just want to say I'm very sorry it's taken this long. I know this entire video idea turned out to be a bit of a disaster. Not to mention this is my 3rd time editing. But at least you can see that everything is working perfectly right now, so I might just consider making more videos using this particular mod pack, just because I'm really starting to like these teeny tiny blocks, as well as of course all the other decorations. Now obviously this is a very small scale build which I kind of rushed through towards the end, but you can see just how much detail and how incredible it can look when you have the option of adding in these teeny blocks. So I do think that if we were to dedicate an entire video to just one transformation using all of the mods available, we could probably build something seriously epic. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comments below. My plan was to show you guys some more mod reviews and some other build ideas, but unfortunately I lost a lot of my work during the PC freakout phase. So again, I'm very sorry, but I hope you guys still enjoyed and still consider subscribing. Oh my god, I'm so glad this is over. This video is done. I'm so done. I didn't even tell them about the cracked 4K monitor.